Alright everyone, welcome back to Cody's Lab. So I've got a few trees right here. See, it's a cherry tree and a couple of apples. Now, my dad's already got one that's being hauled up there, and I'm right behind him. And we're gonna go plant these trees up in the rocks, just like I did a couple years ago. You know, since those trees did so well, we're doing the exact same thing. Hopefully we'll eventually get an orchard going up there. So I got a bucket of water here, and I've added some of these water storing crystals to the bucket. That way, they haven't absorbed the water yet, but they will very shortly. Now this way, the tree will have a source of water that doesn't just drain right past it. Make it so I don't have to water it quite as much. That's what I did last time, and it seemed to work, so there you go. Alright, so I'm going to pick this tree up. With the pot, hopefully. We're going to go up there and plant it. Do I really need the pot? Just something to carry back down, right? Right up there. That's where we're putting this tree. See where the dog is? Right inside of those bushes. Yeah, that looks like a good place for a cherry tree.
You find some of that repellent? You have cicadas?
I don't know if that Repellex stops cicadas. Yeah, we gotta get down to dirt because we can't plant them right in the rocks. The choke cherries just come right up through them.
Huh?
The choke cherries just come right up through the rocks.
They're down in there somewhere, though, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
If you can get some dirt, those trees will actually go down and get the water.
Yeah. You feel how moist it is down in the air? The rocks act like mulch. Holds the moisture down in the ground. Okay, I think I can see the soil. Think the cows will bother the trees here?
No.
What was that?
Cows don't like to stand in the rocks.
No, they don't.
Kind of like a cattle guard.
Yeah.
And that's where the gophers don't like to dig in the rocks.
I don't know why we didn't start planting the trees up here sooner then.
Hell of an idea, ain't it? My dad and mom could have done it. We'd have it done. They never thought of it.
If we can get them to grow, let's put a whole orchard up here.
Cover this sumbitch with trees.
I mean, the wild choke cherries grow up here. Why not some domestic ones?
Need somebody to spend the money to buy them.
I wonder if we should start with smaller trees. So we don't have to dig such a big hole.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. It's not really necessary to have a big tree because they don't grow any faster anyway.
No. I just filled in my hole. See that? An avalanche. And now we're getting into the soil. It's actually some pretty good dirt in the rocks, isn't it? Where'd you go? Doing here. See, just pulling the rocks out, see them getting into the soil. What's that?
I'll tell you what we gotta not do.
What's that?
We gotta not plant conifers up here.
Why not conifers?
Because if you get a fire, it'll burn out your...
Oh yeah, the fruit trees won't burn as well, will they? starting to have to pry the rocks out.
Yeah, deep enough.
Yeah, you're into the soil too. Looks like you're gonna have a little avalanche here.
Yeah, son of a gun.
There. Okay, so you got your tree in already, huh? Right there. You gonna dump those crystals in around it?
You want to?
I think it might be a better idea to mix them with some dirt. But, yeah, here's my tree. Here's my crystals. And there's the hole. I'm putting them in. Okay, that's it. Throw in some of these water crystals. Look at that. It's like a little water reservoir down underneath the tree. Mix some dirt in with that. Alright. You stacking rocks around yours?
Yeah, I'm pulling them away from the top. The ones that are going to come down, I've been moving.
Alright. Do you need any more of these crystals, or are you putting enough
That's
in?
good. It's got plenty.
I'm going to just give the rest of these to this tree then.
That's how you find things out nowadays.
I'm just going to stack these rocks around it as mulch. Okay. So there's our little cherry tree. You got you a carrot?
It's a wild carrot. That's probably poisonous.
It's a big one.
I'll bet you that sucker would kill you if you ate it.
Probably. I bet a rabbit would have no trouble eating it though. Let's see, are the branches hairy? No.
Huh?
Yeah, it's probably a poison carrot.
That's definitely poisonous. That'd probably turn your gut if you got any of that on you.
At least I'm not going to try to eat it.
It wouldn't take much of that, and you'd be tipping over.
Alright. So right there's where you're planting the apple tree. You got a root. What do you think? The other one just go right over here next to it? Okay. Here's the apple tree getting watered in. I'll probably bring it a bucket of water every week for the rest of the summer. And if I do that, this tree ought to thrive. Whew. So I'm back down by the house, and you can see this cherry tree here. And you know, I've watered this one probably more than the ones that were up on the hill, and I even put a little cage around it, and it still didn't grow. It died off the first year. And you can see the cows have kind of pushed it over sideways, but you know, it just didn't take off. But the cherry trees that are up in the rocks, which we'll go look at in a minute, they're still alive. So something about being up in those rocks seems to really help. Kind of makes sense too, because, well, the wild cherries are growing up there. I can't believe we hadn't thought about putting the trees up there sooner. You see the apple trees and the other two cherry trees are over there. Anyway, let's go up there and have a look at them. Some of you might have remembered the cherry tree that I planted in here about 2 years ago. Let's see how it's doing. It had flowers on it earlier this year. There it is. Blends in really well with the choke cherries. That's alright, see. That's choke cherry flowers. It probably won't make any berries. Or if it does, the birds will eat them. But the cherry here, probably be the same thing. It's got a little bit of a shriveled up cherry going there. Oh, there's a couple of little green ones right up there. So yeah, the tree is alive. That's probably, yeah, it hasn't really actually grown very much. See, Looks like just an inch or so of new growth. It should be making the root system. It'll probably do that for another year or so before it starts to really get going. There it is. The tree's actually alive, and I haven't watered it yet this year. I don't think I really need to, now that it's got its roots down in there. It's established. Yeah, hopefully it can grow up taller than the other choke cherries and get into the sunlight. Maybe in about 10 years I'll actually be able to harvest some cherries off of it. And I do have another cherry tree planted next to it. It's down here a little ways, down through the bushes. It's kind of been growing in here. Let's see, where is it? Right here. So it looks like it's the top part of it has died, and then it's growing back up from the trunk. See here. I mean, that's alright. It'll grow up eventually. In fact, I think if we go around and plant too many more of these, I want to get some smaller trees. They don't need to be this tall when I plant them. Yeah, it's kind of a shame this all died out, but they do that sometimes. And I'll just train this branch here and have it grow out. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.